So here it is. This is the Insta360 OneX2 and it's the successor of one of my all-time favorite cameras, the Insta360 OneX. I've been using this camera for the past couple of weeks now and I've been testing it in different conditions. So in today's video, I'll let you know what I think about it, whether it's a good purchase for you and whether it's a good filmmaking tool to add another interesting perspective to your videos, or it's a little gimmick that you shouldn't use. Just a little heads up, this video will not be a very technical product review with all the different specs that you can find about the camera. A simple browse through Insta360's website can give you all that information. I mostly want to share my impressions after using the camera and what I think about 360 video in general and how you can use 360 video to spice up your videos yourself. So if you're looking for a very detailed spec video, this is not the right video for you. So first things first, as a drone channel, my biggest interest was to strap this camera on a drone and see what shots I'm able to get. So that's exactly what I did. I put this camera on top of a 13-inch Beast X-Class FPV drone. I was trying to replicate a shot which I did last year when I was reviewing the original OneX. If you remember this video, it was really interesting to put the OneX on top of my 5-inch quadcopter and just fly around and create that really unique looking perspective from the front. And it looks like somebody is following the drone and filming it directly from the front. That's a really cool perspective that I really enjoy. So that's exactly the same thing which I tried to do again this year by using the OneX2 and also using this thing right here which you saw in the intro. This is the unicorn helmet mount for the OneX2, and because of that 13-inch FPV drone, of course I had to use something bigger, so this is exactly the thing that I needed. The unicorn helmet mount was perfect to strap to the drone and let the camera sit in front of it like so. So you just put it right here and you're able to create that front perspective, which in my opinion is just very cool looking and I really enjoy it. So one of my favorite things about this camera obviously is the unique framing possibilities after taking your shot. If you want to play around with your shot, you have so many different ways to spice it up, to play with it, to move the perspective from left to right, or just zoom in, zoom out, or just play around with the angles and create something very, very unique looking. Now I know 360 video is not something that everyone is really a fan of, and myself included. In the beginning I thought it's a gimmick and probably I wouldn't use it in a commercial project where I want to deliver the best quality possible. However, for YouTube and for creating some really unique looking shots, I think 360 video cannot be beaten by anything else. For the most part, I've been using this camera in cloudy conditions, which of course is not ideal, as you'll need a ton of light to take advantage of the best quality possible of the OneX2. And you can see the difference in the intro itself. The drone shots which I got on a nice sunny day were just so much better looking compared to the cloudy ones where of course the light was not ideal. There was some lack of details in the shadows, also in the midtones, and yeah, the shadows in general were a bit mushy, so I didn't really enjoy that part, and you cannot really push them too much to when you want to grade. However, if you want to take full advantage of the best quality possible of the OneX2, you need to film in bright sunny conditions. This is where the camera really shines the most in my opinion, because you can take advantage of that 5.7K 30 frames per second video, and I actually really enjoy that improvement in the video area compared to the OneX, the original OneX. I think the OneX2 is a lot better looking in terms of video. I only use it for video. I don't use 360 cameras for photos, or at least not that much, so I haven't really tested the camera in that department. I focus primarily on video, as you know, on this channel. But I am actually interested to check out the different possibilities of the OneX2 in photo mode, and you know, you can take some burst photos and do some other creative things with it, but I've yet to explore that. Speaking about exploring, there are a couple of tools, or should I say accessories, that you actually really need when it comes to the OneX2 to maximize the experience that you are going to have with this camera. Of course, the number one thing is the invisible selfie stick. It's a must-have for the OneX2. you simply attach it to the bottom of the camera like so, and when you start recording, the stick is invisible. You can walk with it, you can do whatever you want with the camera, and the stick will not be visible in the shot itself. So that creates a lot of opportunities, and I personally wouldn't really advise you to use this camera without the selfie stick, the invisible selfie stick, just because the minute you put this on, it gets a whole lot better and gives you so much more room to play with it. Now, another thing, like I said, was this unicorn helmet mount, and this is particularly used for the drone shots that you saw in the intro. You can also use it, of course, on a helmet. It's made to be used on a helmet if you're riding a bike, or if you're using a very large drone, that's another option as well. And probably the most interesting accessory for me is this extended selfie stick, which is pretty much the same as the invisible selfie stick. However, this one is 3 meters long. It's yeah, it won't be possible for me to show it in its full size, but just take my word for it. It's really, 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 really long. I'm touching the wall with this. It's so long. This gives you a lot of opportunity to play with the camera from a large distance, so you can sit in the car and extend this all the way up to 3 meters and just hang it outside the window, and you pretty much have a drone shot following you. Especially when being inside a car, I think this creates a really nice look that otherwise would be only achievable through a drone, and sometimes you can't use a drone, so this comes to save the day. When it comes to the battery life, I have to say I'm extremely impressed by the OneX2 compared to the One X, where I was struggling to film everything I needed with the one battery which I had in the beginning. Now I'm able to film so much more for so much longer, and I don't even get to 50%. It's such a huge improvement. I don't know how they did it, but the battery life is so much better. It can get through a full day of shooting, or not shooting all the time, of course, but you can get through a lot of different scenarios, different shootings, and still have some battery left inside the camera itself at the end of the day, which for me is really impressive. So big thumbs up from me for that. Probably one of the biggest differences compared to the original One X is the display, the colorful display right here on the front, which you can swipe on and frame your shot the way you want it to be before you even start shooting. And this is extremely useful for checking out your shots straight after taking them, or just for setting up your shot before you start shooting, or just for browsing through the menus and the settings. It is a lot better in terms of user experience compared to the original display, which was, I wouldn't really say was bad, but it was nothing compared to this one. This is just a real joy to use, and I really enjoy using this display right now. The camera has become a little bit bulkier, a little bit chunkier, but it has a lot better grip here on the sides. It feels like a rubberized grip that allows you to carry the camera in your hand without ever being scared of dropping it, because the original one was, I would say, too smooth, and it was really easy to drop it. So now it has a lot more grip on the sides and also on the top. So it feels safer to carry this camera in your hand and hold it, and it just feels a little bit more premium, I would say. It is waterproof up to 10 meters, so you can dump it into water, or you can take it with you when you're doing some water activities, which was not the case for the previous camera. So for that one, you had to purchase a separate case for, I think it was called the Venture case, which was used when you're above water, and you had to buy another case if you want to dip this into underwater. So it was really not ideal if you want to use this as an action camera. The audio is something that I definitely think needs more work. In all Insta360 cameras, the One X, the OneX2, the One R, I noticed the same thing. The audio is a bit muffled, and it's, you know, it's not ideal in terms of quality. It definitely can be improved, and I think the audio from GoPros and even the Osmo Action was a little bit better compared to this one. So if you plan to maybe vlog with this and capture yourself speaking, you need to be aware that the wind noise will be captured on video and the audio will not be very good, so keep that in mind. But the thing is, the positive things about this camera outweigh the negative by such a huge margin, it's not even funny. The stabilization, for example, I'm extremely happy with how the camera stabilizes all of your shots, especially in 360 mode. It's just insanely good, and of course you need to be careful. You cannot jump up and down and expect it to be absolutely buttery smooth, but for the most part 99% of the shots you take on this camera will be extremely smooth. And finally, many people ask me on Instagram, how do I edit my 360 footage? And there are two options to do it. Personally, I prefer to do it on my computer. That gives me the best amount of control. I personally like to have full control over the things I do, and I just like to do it on a bigger screen, the one that I have on my computer, so I prefer that option. However, many people edit their footage on their phone, and with the AI editing which the Insta360 app offers, it's really easy to edit your footage. It is so easy to put together a nice looking video that I think more people should take advantage of that, myself included. So keep that in mind. It's very easy to edit your footage inside the app as well, but I prefer to have more control and use Insta360 Studio to render my footage and then put it into Final Cut Pro to cut it, to reframe it, and to just do whatever I want with it. And I'm only scratching the surface in today's video. I have so much more to explore with this camera and to test. But yeah, that's the beauty of having a nice product which offers so much. You can't really test everything and be done with it. So overall, I think this camera is a must-have for anyone who is looking for a different perspective, different unique angles. It's definitely not for everyone. However, if used properly, if used right, this camera is a beast to create those unique looking shots that people will ask you, hey, how were you able to capture this? And yeah, the answer is this, the OneX2. That's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this different type of review. It's not really a review, it's more like sharing my impressions of the camera. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if you did in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy those videos and want to see more of them. Thank you so much for watching once again. This is Mike from Drone Supremacy. I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.